Welcome. Oh, my mic's
Welcome.
probably. Are we record? Yeah, we are. We are a go. Welcome everyone to episode 3, the
Of the Coach Approach podcast. We
the
got,
Christmas special,
we
episode
got,
2. No, episode 3.
we got
Uh,
it right. We got it right the first time this time.
Finally, Phil's been rushing back from a PT session because I said, "See you in 10 minutes." He goes, "I'm not even at home." So I was like, "Get a move on," in a very polite way. But he's very busy, so I do
You,
respect that.
you were very polite about it, to be fair.
I sit on my arse all day, so I'm kind of just making sure, that I just work around you. I'll do all the editing.
While I'm in the gym counting reps.
Who you PTing this morning? How was it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Do you know what? It's that time of year now, which is what we're going to be talking about, which is obviously on the run up to Christmas, where
Yeah.
not as many people are starting. Most people have got into the mindset of, oh, I'll start after Christmas now. They're thinking about expenses. They're thinking about, they know that their mindset isn't going to be in the right place. Um, and typical, as you already know, people say, oh, I'll do it in January. I'll start in January. So it's actually a little bit quieter for me now
Yeah.
because of that reason. So
Well, he's still on the gym floor a lot, mate. This week's been, well, I tell you what, this week's been busy anyway. We've put our first podcast out, official podcast.
yeah,
So two. That was good fun. And then we thought me and Phil thought it would be a good one to try and do. And we're normally doing one a month, but there's like it's Christmas coming up. I had the idea of people giving out PDFs, how to challenge, how to get through your Christmas period, how all these strategies. And we're like, why don't we just do the podcast? Something to listen to, something to watch as well.
something interactive.
Something that's interactive. So we wanted to kind of think outside the old box, is what they would like to say.
Did you
So
know what?
let's get cracking on the podcast. The first one was very successful, and we got some really good feedback. So we thought, oh, we'll do this on Thursday, the 5th of December, and I'll try and edit everything tomorrow and get it out
I'll
quick.
get it all edited by the 6th.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought as well. One sec, one sec. Oh, if
Yeah,
people can't
I
actually watch it, I've now just put a
unfortunately
Santa Claus hat on. I
you're
thought
gonna have to wear it for both of us, mate, because I do not own one of those.
I did look. This is how I'm going to wear it. I've got a curry night tomorrow night with the boys, our annual Christmas curry night, and I think I'm going to wear this. This has been with me since I've been a little child. We've decided to put a bauble on it. For those who can't see who are listening on the podcast, go on the YouTube. I've put on a Santa's hat on. Um, yeah, and Phil hasn't. Phil's just
Oh, is there not a way that we can how do I maximize that again? I've accidentally just minimized my screen.
don't worry, I'm recording on mine.
Okay, spot on.
All good.
But yeah,
So yeah,
no, it looks beautiful, bro. You're gonna have to wear it for both of us.
yeah, I'm a bit gutted that you didn't actually make an effort. I mean, I did only message you an hour ago saying, "Have you got a hat?"
Yeah, unfortunately, bro, I do not own one of those. Um, but yeah, bro, how are you? How's your day been?
Yeah, good, mate. Very good. We've had a couple of calls, had a gym session, getting ready for the weekend for the annual boys Christmas curry night. I don't know why it's curry.
I
Uh,
don't remember getting an invite to that.
no, you're not part of the boys, mate. I'm only joking. But yeah, every year we go and do a curry night. I don't know if it's because it's Christmas curry and it's two C's. I don't know why. Maybe. But we always do a curry night for Christmas. Because us boys are all old enough, are old now. We're in our 30s. Some have families. We never really see each other, so we've got to make sure we see each other at least once a year. So I've got that tomorrow,
Annual meetup.
and then I've got Naomi's Christmas dinner with her work on Saturday. And of course, as being self-employed like myself, I have no one around me. So I don't have any Christmas parties to go to. So she's kindly invited me to her one. So we're going there on Saturday night.
Yeah,
Um,
thinking about, I've not been invited to any Christmas parties. I do get a bit jealous when I hear everyone's like, I've got work staff too, because they always look fun, and I'm like, haven't
we're
got a bit.
self, what she should do? She do like a coach's Christmas
Oh,
dinner.
you
Like
know that'd be a good idea, to be fair, because no doubt most of them are in the same boat, or the ones that do um have a Christmas party, they'll just throw like with their clients. But
yeah, yeah. I've
But
definitely. Mm,
it's a good idea. Bring all the coaches together.
yeah, so working on our own, or as a PT, as a coach, it's a bit different to PT, like a little bit now. So, like when I was on the gym floor speaking to loads of people, I did have a Christmas party when I was at Anytime Fitness, but now I'm self-employed. I sit in my office all day. I sit on a chair and I see no one apart from Bonnie, all day. So I just realized I'm wearing the same t-shirt than I did on the last podcast. This is quite embarrassing, actually.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that today.
Oh no, do you know what it is? All right, this is actually quite funny. So I was reading a book last year of someone who bought all of the same t-shirts and trousers and shorts because he was stressing out too much that
Is that Stephen Bartlett?
yes, was it Stephen Bartlett? I can't remember, but he goes in the book, it was like I just bought the same t-shirt, so every morning I didn't have to think
Don't have
about
to stress
it.
about what to wear.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna take that on. I'm gonna actually do that. So I bought loads of stuff from Tailored Athlete, blue, white, red, and black. And I wear that every single day, and it's heaven. Like I don't need to stress about what. Not that I'm trying to impress anyone because I'm sitting in my office all day, every day doing nothing. Well, no, I'm not doing. I am doing
You
stuff.
just tell us that you wear the same t-shirt everywhere, bro. It's fine.
No, it's the different t-shirt, just multiple colors and multiple same t-shirts. But I do wash it. Yeah. So I took that on board from a book that I read last year.
You know what? I first heard of that being a thing, and it originated from Mark Zuckerberg, obviously the founder of Facebook. So when you're that busy and that successful, and you've got a million things to do, a million meetings, the last thing you like they can we all should consider time very valuable and precious time when you're trying to be successful can be wasted on trying this outfit on, trying that outfit on. So have the mindset of that's time wasted.
Yeah.
Let me just not make that one less thing for me to worry about and spend time on. To wear the same thing, get out of the wardrobe, done.
Oh yeah, my millions that I'm making, a couple million to this week, 1 million next week. Uh,
Yeah.
Tell you what, it does put a lot of stress down, and I really like these t-shirts. I think we're going a bit off tangent here, but anyway,
Christmas.
Christmas. So we thought we would explain to you guys what we have been telling our clients, what we do over Christmas period, um, just to kind of give you guys a bit of advice. It's not a month that is the devil month. I hear that quite a lot. I put that on my Instagram the other day. It's not a devil month. It's a month like any other month, but maybe just a little bit more food and a little bit more alcohol for some people. So we want to explain how we do it, how our clients are doing it, how we advise things to worry about, things not to worry about. Because I think a lot of people will worry about things like this is a big thing that they get stressed about the things that they can't control, which then inadvertently starts affecting the things that they can control. So you're in a lose-lose situation. So it's like, right, what can we control? What can we make? How can we make some progress? And the first one, I had some bullet points on my piece of paper in front of me, was food, Phil. So how are you approaching food over Christmas?
Do you know what? Yeah. For me, it's really easy when it comes to food. And it's not because I'm consciously having to implement things to make it easier for me to stay on track. I just generally don't, I think I've just trained my mind and myself to just be in a place where I don't even see bad food when I go shopping.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I'll just eat
You
the
don't have
same.
the craving. You don't have the craving for it.
I don't have the craving for it. I don't have craving for chocolate. It's not that I don't like chocolate, but I can just so easily say, nah, I don't want it. And it's not even from a place of I'm thinking, oh, my abs are going to go if I eat that, so I'm not going to have it. I genuinely just don't have it. And do you know what? Being from an African background, we never really ate bad my whole life anyway.
You're not from Wales.
I'm not from Wales. Well, I'm half Welsh.
Yeah.
I'm half Welsh, yeah. But but yeah, like I say, being from like an African background, the kind of foods that we eat and I've ate since I was a kid has always just been more like natural whole foods anyway. Rice, meat, chicken.
Chicken,
What's that?
chicken, and then the bone.
Chicken and the bone, yeah.
Um, so
So, but when I've had Christmas periods where I know that I might not be at home, then that's where prep is so key.
yeah,
Especially if you're really focused on your goals and you're wanting to stay on track and you're not wanting Christmas to be a thing that kind of makes you take a step backwards, then I will prep if I know that I'm going to be out somewhere. Or if you're going to be out for a meal, I'll always look for what's going to be the better option, not something that's going to take me 2 steps back after the hard work that I've done by eating well all year. But in regards to the treats that most people go for, chocolate, sweets, once people start
Celebration.
celebrations, once people, I know how it is, because once most people start, they can't stop. Um, and it's hard when some people might not buy it for themselves, but their family will have it there. And then for me, it's crisps more than anything. Not like sweets and chocolate isn't a problem, but if I start with crisps, I'll eat a whole bag. But personally, I won't buy them myself.
Mm.
But I guess that's where some people struggle, is their families will be the ones who get all the bad stuff in it, and it's just there, then they won't stop.
So what are you saying to your clients? I've got, I'd say half of my clients are on fat loss, half of them are on muscle building phases, all still approaching food in pretty similar ways anyway. What have you been saying to your clients in this month that is going to help them manage Christmas? Not like completely avoid it, but manage it better than what they would have done previously.
So do you know what? One thing that I tell my clients, yeah, is to remember that, one, remember how far you've come already. Don't let Christmas mess it up, so then you're having to start from square one again.
Yeah.
Because over Christmas, obviously doing this a few years, you probably see it as well. Most people tend to gain between like 5 to 10 pounds just over a Christmas period, which happens very quickly, but then that's a lot harder to lose for most people.
Mhm.
So I'll give them that little reminder that you've come this far. Don't let Christmas, which is one day long, mess it up.
Yeah.
So then it's
I think that's where people need to kind of view the Christmas.
Mhm.
I've done a couple of posts on this, if you've seen it, with the percentages of like how many. I've had clients in the past, a few years ago, last year, I had a client this year, like a couple of clients this year, and then I just put it into perspective for them. And I was like, okay, cool. Christmas Day,
It's
Box-
one day long.
yeah, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, I would say. Then you're
Mm.
gonna have maybe one or two free socials, maybe three big socials, maybe an extra one. Let's say maximum of six.
Mhm.
Maximum of six socials in the month, yeah? 6, 7. There's 31 days in the month. So what is that as a percentage? It's like 20%.
Mhm.
So 80% you're telling me you cannot stay on track, you cannot eat well, you cannot train, you cannot do any cardio, you cannot do any steps. And then when they go, oh shit, yeah, fair enough. Like I didn't realize it in percentages like that. They just see it as okay, I'm having a Christmas as 31 days of eating loads of chocolate, eating loads of sweets, not going to the.
That's exactly it.
And it's
Everyone,
in reality they're not, because most of my clients I've been saying like, how do you approach Christmas? He goes, well, just the same what you talk about. And I'm like, good, I'm glad you're asking me saying that, because my approach is I'm still training, I'm still doing my cardio, I'm still doing my steps. I'm not going to train on Christmas Day, I'm not going to train on Boxing Day, but I'll train around it. It's the same thing.
do you know what? I think in people's minds, they they blow Christmas up to be a bigger event than what it is, because realistically, all Christmas is one day where you're opening presents in the morning, you'll have all your family around. Boxing Day, yeah, you'll have leftover Christmas dinner and you'll spend time with family. Then it's literally back to reality. But because of what I see as the marketing side of Christmas, all the Christmas stuff gets put on the shelves in September, and then
Yeah.
all the stuff that you can't buy year round, you're seeing all the decorations and the tinsel and the bright colors, which attracts us as human beings, because we like shiny things, we like jewelry, and when it comes to Christmas, it's that marketing which psychologically makes us get into the Christmas spirit. What I'm seeing earlier and earlier every year. So we're seeing Christmas to be a month long from the start of December. As early as September now, we're
Yeah.
seeing Christmas stuff get being sold in the stores.
Before what's the 31st of October?
Halloween.
Halloween. I lost
So,
that.
do you know what? That's exactly when I noticed it. I remember I went into the shop around the corner from mine. All the Halloween stuff was there all month. Halloween is literally just one night that you go trick or treating. There's Halloween stuff being sold in the shops all month. All these sweets, all these treats, all these different candies.
Yeah.
The day after Halloween, the same shelf that had all the Halloween stuff was Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And last day of October. And I was like, and it's that marketing which psychologically is getting us into the Christmas spirit earlier and earlier every year, that we're believing that it's Christmas from the month of December, which we then get into that sort of Christmas spirit, and then we're getting less motivated and telling ourselves, oh, we'll take my foot off the gas now, we'll do it next year's Christmas now. When, like I said, you just got to reaffirm to yourself and your clients that Christmas is just one day long.
I don't know anyone that goes. I say like in terms of like during the week is normal. So there's a few more socials at the weekends for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So my clients will be some on a meal plan, some not. You know, the way we approach it is the way I've directed it to clients is like, right, you tell me any socials that are happening, let me know. And some will panic. They'll go, I've got all these socials, and I go, all right, tell me it. I've got it one next weekend, one the following weekend, one, and then it's Christmas. I went,
And
okay,
that's a normal
normal month. I was like,
normal
that's
yeah.
absolutely normal month. So what we do is that one approach that you guys can do is you can calorie bank for that day. And that's what I do plenty of times with myself. You know, tomorrow I'm going for the curry night. I'm going to calorie bank that day. And how you calorie bank, guys, is let's say you're on 2,000 calories or 1,500 calories, whatever it is. For females, it is harder. Okay. For any females listening, you do unfortunately have it harder than males. It's because you are smaller people. You
They
have
go consume a
less,
lot less calories.
less calories. It's just the way it is. But let's say you're on 1,800 calories, you know, and you're going out on a Saturday evening for a meal with your mates, you know, right, okay, you know, we know we're going to be in some form of surplus anyway, but how can we limit that surplus? Like instead of it being 3,000, 4,000 calories higher, how can we limit to maybe 1,000? And what we do is that we'll push food as far as possible on the Saturday during the day, make it high protein, low calorie. Preference for me is a Sky yogurt with fruit. You know, I can get 50 grams of protein in that and loads of fruit for like 300 calories. And I'm going to have to drink plenty of water, hydration. I'll have a coffee, and then I'm pretty much saving those calories for the evening. So if I was on 1,800, I've just made a Sky yogurt and fruit for 300 calories, let's say. Now you have 1,500 calories to spend in the evening. Then you can kind of go, right, do I need a starter, main, and dessert? Not really. You can either have one or the two. Like you can have two course or one course. Generally, for me, I'm quite full up on one course anyway. So I'll have one big meal. And then let's say that meal was 800 calories. So you take that off your 1,500. What does that leave you? 700 calories. Yeah, that was. And then you got 700 calories to spend, you know, a glass of wine. Maybe that's 300 calories, maybe a couple glasses of wine, an extra 300 calories. You know what? Maybe I'm going to have a dessert. And that's how you kind of calorie bank. Doesn't always work. Don't get me wrong. You know, some people can get a bit too hungry. They can be like, okay, right, I'm actually so hungry, I'm going to binge everything. So you do have to get used to like what you can adjust to and what you can do and what you can calorie bank to and for. But a lot of it then will come then down to your decisions at that social. So for tomorrow night, I'm intertwining two strategies: the calorie banking, and in the evening when I go for the curry, I'm going to have maybe one pint, maybe one bottle of beer, and then I'll stick to spirits and diet mixes. For me,
And
and I'm bulking. Do you know what I mean? I'm eating lots of food, but I'm still using the strategies I would kind of use anyway. One, because beer makes me feel like absolute shit the next day. I don't want to hang over because I want to train the next day as well. And I'm going to go to. I'm hoping Naomi will pick me up about 9:30, 10. That's my curfew. And we're leaving at like 5:30. And then at the curry, we're just going to have the one main meal. You know, rice and chicken, high protein meal. And that's one way of approaching a social at the weekend.
absolutely, yeah. And you make like a really valid point there. Like typically when I've tracked how much food and calories I'll consume on a night out, obviously the way the food is cooked, even though it's healthy, will be slightly worse than how you might prepare it at home. Um, but averagely, when I've tracked on meals out, this is just with a starter and the main, will be anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 calories.
Yeah.
So what's what you can do is kind of maybe fast during the day, and then just if you're able to, like you said, just have something light, and then consume your meal later on, and it's not going to take you massively over. Because obviously, if you track the numbers, what you find is if you're eating the exact same as you would on the day that you're going out for a meal, and then
Yeah.
you're eating that extra 1,200 or plus calories if you're having drinks
Yeah.
on top of what would be your daily total. All of a sudden, you're now 1,000 calories over for the week, which can make a massive difference in how your goals are going to be affected by the end of the week. And
I,
then,
I think though as well, inevitably you are going to go over. Like I think it's just in my experience over the years, you're never going to be able to stick to under what you're trying to achieve for most females as well, and especially
yeah,
males, 1,900 or 2,000 calories. And I always explain it like that, like this is your maintenance. We're in a deficit, and this is going to be the surplus after the social. Instead of now, that's you being clever and being responsible and approaching it right. If you didn't, you'd be up here,
mhm.
up here and absolutely consuming a fuckload of calories and actually feeling like shit. And it's generally not going to be the social event that causes you to gain loads and loads of weight. It's the hangover the next day where you have
Absolutely.
too much food, takeaways, McDonald's. We've all been there.
No one's hungover and can't get out of bed and is getting down to cook their chicken and rice. They're ordering Mackies on Uber Eats or pizza. And if you think about it,
Oh, this is a quick one, right? For anyone who has McDonald's, I shouldn't really be saying this as a coach, but if you ask for no onions, you actually get a fresh cheeseburger. That's really off topic as well. But if you go into McDonald's and you
any of my clients that are watching this, you won't be going to McDonald's.
ask, but I learned that of someone else to get a fresh cheeseburger, ask for no onions.
But
So
you know what? So really, really quickly as well, touching upon what you said about alcohol, yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time we went out for a drink with each other, but
you sent me a video this morning, yesterday.
but that was for my 28th birthday a couple of years ago. I think that was the last time. But something that everyone laughs at me for when I'm out with anyone for drinks, they're like, "How's a big man like you drinking gin or pink gin?"
Yeah, with a little.
I'll be there sipping on a glass of gin.
I
So
love it with a straw as well.
with a straw as well, with a couple strawberries and raspberries in there, which I definitely get eaten as soon as I'm drink. But I think your choice of drink makes a massive difference as well, because compared to things like red wine and beer, I've not tasted beer in 10 years.
Yeah.
But gin, although it's still not great, it's a spirit, it's alcohol as well, so alcohol is never going to be good. But the way that gin is made is one of the most best options of alcohol to take. And if you have it with tonic, it's the lowest calorie as well. So I think depending on what your values are, what your goals are, how committed you are to your goals, yeah, you might not like gin as opposed to another drink that you might have, like a mojito or something which is really sugary.
Okay, so I hate gin. What would you recommend?
Vodka,
I hate vodka. What would you recommend?
nothing. Drink
Rum,
water.
guys, rum and Coke. Get your Captain Morgan spice rum. That is my choice. Get a squeeze of lime in there. That is going to be.
Yeah.
Mate,
But
most spirits are going to be fine. I would say most spirits are generally going to be okay with a diet mixer.
and then making sure, if you do remember when you're out having drinks, which is so easy to forget, but making sure that you're keeping hydrated in between drinks makes you not feel anywhere near as worse the next day.
Oh, I'll be
Or
top for sure.
down in a glass of water before bed definitely makes a massive difference as well. Not that I'm speaking from experience because I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah, I think drinking, me going to bed early. So I realize this like during the summer, there's more socials going on. If I go to bed past 11 o'clock, mate, the next day I feel horrendous. If I'm in
It's
bed early enough,
it kills you.
yeah, if I'm in bed early enough, and I get a good sleep, I'm generally all right the next day. And I eat plenty of fruit the next day, guys. I have plenty of fruit when I've had like a social the night before. You have to be prepared if you're going to be having no food in your fridge or in your cupboards or whatever the next day on a Sunday. You're gonna look at ordering a takeaway because you're like, I need to eat something. Being prepared with your normal foods is going to be so important. So make sure your fridge and your cupboards are fucking stocked up, ready for when you wake up. I know it's easier said than done. Do you know what I mean? It's so much easier said than done. But if you value your kind of like on how you feel, go for your fruit and veg and the next day.
And the thing is, you do have to be really forward thinking in regards to things like prep and stuff, because people have contacted us or reached out to us or started with us with a goal in mind.
Yeah.
But then they're not, a lot of people aren't willing to or don't give themselves the time to do those things that are gonna get them that little bit further faster in regards to things like being more forward thinking and having food ready the next day after drinks, um,
It's
which again
track.
sets that.
A lot of people were like, I haven't got time to track. I was like, brother, right. And I did a video of myself doing it. It's in my vault. Not in my vault, like on the coaching app. I think it took me 22 seconds to track one of my meals or
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, right, tell me you don't have 22 seconds in your day to track some food.
yeah. No,
I'll
hundred
call them
percent.
out. I'll call them out. Sometimes some people don't want to track. That's absolutely fine. And I think something that's very important to understand, progress may be a little bit slower. You know,
Mhm.
I've told my clients over the Christmas period, we're going to expect plenty of fluctuations. You know, there is going to be fluctuations, 100%. If you're more accepting of that, you're going to be able to get over it quicker and you're going to be able to focus on the things that actually matter. So what does matter? You know,
Yeah,
are you training? Yes, get your training in. All of my clients are doing normal training, nothing, anything extra. They've all got some form of cardio. Even in my guys that are bulking, maybe we've said, like, if you want to do a little bit more, go for it. You know, if you're going with a friend and you want to do a bit of a hit workout, go for it. You know, have some fun. There is going to be some extra food consumed. So just not to say that you do a little bit of extra cardio and that's going to burn off all the calories. It's just to make yourself feel a little bit better. And then you get straight back to it in January. Like there's accepting the fact, you know, we've gone, you know, 4 step. We take 4 steps forward every month, and you know, December we may only take one or two, but that's better than just giving up and going, nah, I'm just going to start January and taking 5 steps back, and now you're like 6 or 7 steps behind January. Whether
absolutely. I think it depends what kind of what mindset you have towards it, because there'll be one group of people who will, yeah, they might make, they might regress a little tiny bit and gain 1 or 2 pounds, but they're still actively keeping up with those things that you mentioned. Like, yeah, they're still training, they're still eating healthy. Yeah, yeah, they might be having the additional bar of chocolate here and there. Then you've got the other person that you'll ask them, have you been getting on over the Christmas period? I haven't done any training. I've been eating loads of crap. They're the ones who will just make it harder for themselves. And an analogy that I like to use is, um, think about people you've seen and broken down at the side of the road, and you've got a group of people trying to push the car to get it off the road. That's when the most energy is used to give that car that bit of momentum. And it's always harder to get the car moving first. And then once it's rolling, you can have one person pushing it and the car will be rolling from its own momentum. What most people do is they'll use all that energy, gather all that motivation to have to get the car just rolling. They'll move it 5 meters, then they'll stop, catch their breath. Then they got to use all that energy again. Whereas those people that don't take their foot off the gas, they keep doing the bare minimum or a bit more.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, the car might slow down, but they're still keeping it moving rather than having to
stop.
stop, and setting themselves back.
Realistically, I've just done an email the other day about how much you need to consume to put on 2 kilos of body fat. Okay, 2 kilos of body fat, you need to consume, I think it was 16 boxes of celebrations. I worked it out in my email. And that's a hell of a lot. Like that's over 15,000 calories. A pound of fat, we know, is roughly 3,500 calories. 2 pounds of fat is around just under a kilo. So that's 7,000 calories. Double that, you know, it's 14, 15, 16 around that mark in terms of the kilos. So, guys, you need to be consuming a hell of a lot of food to just gain 2 kilos.
Gain that much weight, yeah.
And that's not including, you know, not even training, not even doing many steps, you know, not doing your cardio. You need to be wary that it is actually pretty hard to put on a lot of body fat if you don't, if you carry on doing what you're doing. That is what's the most important. Accept the fluctuations, accept that, scale weight will come up. But remember, scale weight, it's not, if your scale weight does go up, doesn't always mean it's body fat. I like to do this. Like I went out the weekend, had a roast. Where did we go? Oh no, let's say that a couple of weekends ago, I had my birthday meal, 2 birthday meals with Naomi and then my parents, a Saturday and a Sunday. I was up 2.8 kilos on Monday. Okay, 2.8 kilos. That was the weekend weight. That dropped down back to normal by
You
Thursday.
got celebrations did you eat that weekend?
Shut up, mate. No, I had two roasts. Well, two meals out. So, guys, that weight fluctuation on the Monday for me was 2.8 kilos, but then it dropped off again by Thursday, Friday. What you got to remember is just because you have a spike doesn't mean that's automatically body fat. And something you can do, and I actually have quite a few females that do this anyway. We don't do any scale weight recording readings on a Monday and Tuesday because, the weekend they're with their family or their boyfriend or their friends. They have, a couple of socials. There's always going to be that weekend weight. And then they'll track, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because they know, it's going to be more accurate readings and mentally it can be better for them. So, yeah, guys, scale weight, don't worry too much unless you're literally doing nothing, it's absolutely no reason why you can't still make a little bit of progress and utilize the extra bit of food that you're having. If you're going to have a bit of extra food, train harder, train even harder than what you've been doing. Don't slack on your training. You don't need to just completely stop training. 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions, 5 sessions, whatever it is. You're still training. You're still building some muscle if you are going to be consuming a little bit more food. So that's what's really matters. And then also, getting your fruit in, getting your vegetables in, sticking to a meal plan if that helps. If I have quite a few clients on a meal plan, some that are not. And if you think Monday to Friday meal plan will help you stay on track, brilliant. Do a Monday to Friday meal plan. And then Saturday and Sunday, do some tracking, do some social approaches, social strategy approaches.
That's it. And I feel like in regards to people that are wanting to make some improvements coming into the new year, and how most people say to us, "Oh, I'm going to start in the new year." I feel like whether we like it or not, a year's just gone by and another year is going to pass, and no doubt a lot of these people, including us, could have done a lot harder and have done a lot more than we did this year. But we started this year with a goal of making this the year that we're gonna be the ultimate version of ourselves. We're gonna push ourselves harder than we ever did. And most people have let another year go by and they're still the same and they're telling themselves, "Oh, I'll do it this year." And I feel like it's really important to not fall into that trap of and cycle of telling yourself every year that, right, this is the year for change, and then another year passes by and you're in the same sort of position. I feel like right now, when it's hardest, when there's the most temptations, when it's less motivating to be in the gym because now the gyms are empty, the gym's a lot more quiet because people have
I love
already
that. I love when the gyms are more empty because it means less time waiting for machines for me.
100%, yeah. But do you know what? I like an atmosphere. So I am one of those people that needs a busy atmosphere, and seeing people in the gym, and something about that motivates me to work a lot harder. And like, I feel like most people don't want an empty gym. Yeah, some people just want to put their headphones in, have their hood up,
Yeah.
don't not talk to anyone, go grind it out. But I feel like if you're like me, a lot of people that I know of as well have cancelled gym memberships because the gym that they're going to is dead. They want that interaction and to see people and
Well, that's a good one for
community as
December,
well.
actually. Like, grab a friend, train with a friend
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than you do over December,
No, absolutely.
do some
Um,
classes, guys. I'm against classes. I think I don't like classes. Not my
you
way.
hate it. Anything to do with cardio, you hate it.
Oh, mate, I hate it. So, but at the
Tell
same
us all you're unfit, bro.
time,
Nah, nothing.
but during the December time, if you need to move your body a bit more and you're eating a little bit more, you've got more Christmas stuff, do a class, have some fun, do a bit of HIIT workout. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just like, right, are you still training? Yes. Are you still eating decent amount of food? Yes. Are you calorie banking? What you could do as well, you could maybe eat a little bit less during the week. That's not great for performance. However, this is just for this month. You could be eating, let's say your deficit is 1,600 and you are going to have 1,400 Monday to Friday. You're going to save 200 calories for the weekend. That's a great way of doing it. You can still do that as a male. I've got some males on 2,400 calories and they're still dropping weight. Maybe do 2,000 calories and you're saving 400 calories times 5, 2,500 calories. That's quick maths. For the weekend, there's so many ways of doing this. And I think people worry too much. They worry way too much. Whilst they go, right, I'm losing my track on training. I'm losing my track on cardio. I'm losing my track on steps. Just, yeah.
And I feel like because going back to what I was saying as well a minute ago, I feel
Sorry, I
it's,
completely interrupted you there.
yeah, yeah, you did. Because there's so many more temptations, it's so easy for all those things to slip, what you just mentioned. And I feel like if you are trying to go into the next year being the ultimate version of yourself that you said you would be last year, now's the time to do so when there's more temptation, it's less motivating, it's dark early, so you just want to be snuggled up under the covers and it's cold and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go outside and get into the gym." Now, now is the perfect time to challenge yourself and cultivate that mindset that when it's hard, you know that you're going to do it, that when times are easier and it's more fun and there's less distractions, less temptations, you know that you've already developed that strong mindset and cultivated that strong mindset for you to know that you can do it during the harder, less motivating times, that you're gonna also do it during the easier times. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. What have you told your clients during this December? Are they
Uh,
training more? Are they training less? Are they meal
do
plan?
you know what? I am starting to see a dip in mindset. Not, do you know what? Not necessarily a dip in mindset, but usually everyone's on point with being able to come to their sessions at the times arranged. But now there's things that happen to be changed around, and people are being able to attend less sessions because they've got this work function, they've got this event, they got this party, this Christmas party. Um, and then most of the people that I work with have kids as well. So then now they got less childcare because everyone who would be looking after their kids has an event on. They've also got yeah, like more commitments as well outside of the gym around this time, it seems. So there are some people who are still like nailing everything. Then they've not been distracted, but then a lot of people are also distracted at the same time. But again, what I reaffirm to them is to make sure that they're keeping their goals in mind crystal clear, because
Are you
they've said
expecting too much? Are they expecting too much?
what out of themselves or from me.
No, out of themselves. So I know some clients are like, I can't do all of this. Oh, prime example, actually, my client Max, he's sees his girlfriend every most weekends, so he's away for like 4 days at a time. He went away again on Thursday or Friday last week, supposed to come
Mm.
back Tuesday, and his car's broken down, so now he's taking an extra like 4 days away because he's all up at his girlfriend's, and he's panicking a little bit. And I said, don't worry, mate, like you've made progress every single week for the past 30 weeks. He's dropped weight pretty much.
1 week, and do you know what? I always see this. Yeah, really quickly. My turn to butt in. Yeah, there is some. There is people I've worked with previously, and no doubt you have as well. They'll lose £10 in a month. Week later, they'll go to one function or go for one meal out, gain £2, and they're like, "Knew this weight loss thing isn't for me.
Yeah,
Knew I'm just not destined to be the kind of person who can ever be skinny or who can ever achieve my goals." And then from there, you just start to see a slight decline in their attendance, in their tracking, and how much they're able to stick to the plan because of that one bad week. And I think it's so important to know that getting in shape is like trading. You know it better than anyone because you've done cuts and bulks. And when it comes to trading, you start down here. It goes up, then it will come down, but it will never. But as long you know that you're winning because it never goes down lower than when it started. Then it goes up, then it comes down, then it goes up, then it comes down. But as long as it's always on a upward trend, you know that you're going to be making progress, and that's how it is with achieving a body goal. You'll smash it for 3 weeks. Your target, everything that you've been aiming for is on an upward trend. Then it'll go down slightly, absolutely fine. Get your foot back on the gas, and it's like that.
I
You
like
see
to
it with weight as well.
I like to use the analogy of a bow and arrow. So to go forward, sometimes you need to pull
Mhm.
back to push forward. Christmas is
100%.
sometimes one of those times. Like the expectation is so high that you have to be dropping kilos of body fat when actually, you can still drop some weight over the Christmas period, even at maintenance. We know there's so many factors that come into consideration when it comes to scale weight. We won't truly know how much body fat we're actually losing just because we're weighing everything every morning, like our bones, organs, everything, fluids. That the expectation's too high. And it can be okay. I think to say to yourself, it's okay not to make huge progress. I'm still
Mhm.
training, I'm still moving my body, I'm still eating well, I'm having fun at the Christmas party. I'm then making sure the day after I'm fully stocked up with the fruits and my meals that I need. I'm calorie banking when I need to. I'm making smart decisions when I'm drinking. I'm not having loads of pints. I'm having some spirits. I'm going to feel good after. I'm going to feel good the next day. I'm getting some good sleep. Um, yeah, it's that simple. I think that's how simple I wanted this kind of podcast to go down to, and I want people to understand that it is beyond simple that you don't realize on how everyone that's athletes or everyone that has good physiques or even when they're cutting or bulking. Like I was cutting last year for my show over Christmas, apart from obviously we took 5 days off, which was perfect. I took the 5 days off over the Christmas period in terms of my tracking, didn't affect me. It's just doing the day-to-day stuff, simple day-to-day stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and high protein meals, on the go meals, that's for another podcast, really, on the go. I think that's going to be important. But be prepared, eat your repetitive meals, high protein, calorie bank, maybe bank calories each day leading up to the social. Swap bottles of wine for a small glass of wine, swap 3 course meals to just 1 course or 2 course, switch pints to bottles or bottles to even spirits and diet mixers. Make sure you get plenty of fruit and veg in per day. And then make sure the environment at the gym is good. Like go with a friend, do an extra bit of cardio. Like some of my clients, I said, if you want to do a bit more cardio, absolutely, you are more than welcome to. This is the only time that I'll say don't do less, don't do more than what I'm telling you. If you want to do a little bit more, do it. If you want to do a little class, do it. If you want to do a bit of a hit workout, do it. If it's going to make you feel good to keep the body moving whilst through this Christmas period, fantastic.
That's it, and that's what it comes down to is the feeling good aspect of it. Yeah. So most people, like you said, they won't even be doing the bare minimum. What happens? They feel guilty for that. So then they'll start eating that food that gives them that dopamine hit and makes them feel good. And then that makes them feel worse. So then they feel more guilt. So
And then I'll
then
eat more
it's
chocolate.
that constant cycle of now I feel guilty for not doing what I said I was going to do. And
Yeah.
I know I'm messing everything up. I need something to make me feel good. And it's a lot easier to just pick up a chocolate bar or whatever unhealthy food or snack it is that you like and going to the gym. And then it's just that constant cycle as well. And again, before you know it, 3 months has gone by and you're in that same cycle and you're worse than where you were when you started.
I think going to the gym over Christmas is good as well because reverse psychology, when you start training, you want to eat better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works. Like you don't have, and by the way, guys, if you see my Instagram, I'm always going on about how you don't have to be perfect. No one is perfect, unless you're
Apart
prepping
from
for
you,
a bodybuilding show. No, I'm not perfect, mate. I had some celebrations at the weekend, but I factored it in. Yeah, you don't have to be perfect. And when you stop striving for perfection, I think you then are be able to control the variables a lot better and a lot easier, and you're able to enjoy Christmas whilst not panicking. Unless you just, if you want to be an idiot, be an idiot. That's fine. That's absolutely fine with me. Like carry on and don't train, don't do any steps, don't do any cardio, but you're just going to feel 10 times worse.
and do you know what? Yeah, I see it with so many people who have started with me in the past, not even really because they're that interested in wanting to be like a machine in the gym or gain a whole lot of muscle or even lose a whole lot of body fat. They purely just want to start training because of their mental health. And you should see some of the people's lives I worked with before they started training. And literally have that belief that once you start training, you start looking after your body. Once your internal changes, your external world changes as well.
Mhm.
And when you start to see how much these people's lives start to fall in place very quickly and other good things start happening simply because they started looking after their body better, how their mental health changes as well. Um,
Good one.
and you start that, and from a mental kind of like perspective, when you're doing those things, like you said, training over Christmas, it does make you feel better. It makes you feel better that you know that you're outworking who your competition potentially could be, because you know that your competition, if you have like a goal outside of the gym, you know that they're slacking off with the gym, they're slacking off in every other aspect as well. If you're the kind of person that is telling yourself, do you know what? I'm not letting myself slack off in the gym. You're inevitably showing that outside of the gym as well. You're not letting everything else slack off. You're outworking everyone, which makes you feel even better as well.
There's there is no extraordinary when there's average. So
Exactly.
I read that in a book, guys. That was pretty good. So I
I
think
like
it's
that.
so
I want to write that down. Say that again.
there needs to be average people for there to be extraordinary people, because otherwise everyone would be extraordinary or everyone would be average. So you need a mix. So be part of the extraordinary guys. I think we should
That's
take
it. And
that.
that's the point I was trying to make is you can
Oh, you're
choose to
upstairs
be
speaking, mate.
yeah, but that's it. You can choose to be extraordinary or you can just choose to be ordinary.
And I think we'll leave it at that, I think, guys. So as a
But
recap,
yeah, it's literally just to like sum it up.
go
It
on.
literally is just as simple as everything that we've just said. It is literally just as simple as that. I think we overcomplicate it, we overthink it, we stress too much. It's a stressful time of year, so we blow things up to be a lot bigger than they really are. But for anyone listening, if you just take the few points away, the ones that resonate with you, it is literally just as simple as the few points that you will take away that resonate with you.
Just be mindful of your training. You know, remember 70% of your month is still very successful. You can do 70% of the month, or you can do zero. Think of 30% of the socials. Make sure you're wary of, you know, your Christmas meals, your tracking, your coffees from Starbucks. Um, accept fluctuations. Think of the weekend weight and it will drop off. Calorie bank, you know, high protein meals, plenty of fruit, plenty of veg. Get your supplements in, guys. Make you feel good, and train because you feel good as well. Don't train because always you're training for performance or training for a particular fat loss goal or muscle building goal. Train for mental health over this Christmas period, because I think that's going to be just as important when you know you've got a bit of a social feeling a bit, or I ate a bit too much maybe. I'm going to train and make sure I feel good. Okay, there is much more point to training than just fat loss. You don't drop body fat training, you drop body fat outside of it. So train well, train to build muscle, train to enjoy it, train for mental health purposes as well. And remember, Christmas is on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. No, Wednesday and Thursday. I'm training Monday, Tuesday. I'm training Christmas Eve still in the morning. I'm training over the weekend. Nothing really changes. Everything stays the same.
That's it. And in regards to going to the gym on those days as well, out of 24 hours, going to the gym takes 1 hour.
Yeah.
All it is 1 hour out of your day, and doing a little bit of something is going to be a lot better for you
Yeah.
mentally, physically, than doing a whole lot of nothing.
And do your hit workouts if you want. Do some classes, even though I'm against that, but do that as well. I think I'm going to get a nice little picture of you.
I'll be doing loads of classes.
All right, wait. This will be in the video as well. Wait, oh no, up here. All right. Your head looks so much bigger than mine on this camera. Does it
Does
go
it?
back a little bit? Yeah.
Am I on the big screen?
No, you're all right.
I've just got a big head, bro.
All right, guys, thank you for listening. That was the Christmas special. If you've got any questions, always reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you, even if you're not clients. We're always here to help. And we're here to put your mind at ease that Christmas is just like any other month, just maybe a tiny bit more food, tiny bit more alcohol, but with plenty of good strategies and guidance as well. Follow our Instagram, because we do give tips out and you can see behind the scenes on our stories of how we're doing it. But thank you for listening. And Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure.
You too, brother. Merry Christmas, everyone who has listened,
Merry
and enjoy the festive period.
and
I
good.
wish I got one now.